Hello everybody, hope you are all doing well out there. It's Josh here from Pop and Pop, and I've got another Pokemon Master Set video for you today. Today we are going to be looking at Astral Radiance. So we did Brilliant Stars last week, Astral Radiance this week, and then we'll carry on with the Trainer Gallery theme for the next couple of weeks as well. But yeah, Astral Radiance was set number 10 from Sword and Shield. So we're getting close to the end, and like I said, the ones with the trainer galleries in them. And this is the first one that Voltex did their special binders for. You see up here, SWSH10, to let us know. So that's what I've got all these cards in. And this is a 3x4 binder, so you'll see as we go through. So all I just want to discuss first is what I call a master set, just to let you guys know. My master set will have every card that has a tick box from the player's guide in it. So that's what I think a master set is. From talking to a lot of people about the subject, that is what seems to be a consensus, that is what the master set is. A set is then every card, just one of every card from 0 to where the numbers match. So any secret rares and bonuses, but one of every card. Master set is then one of every version that's in the player's guide, so normal and reverse holos, and then you get things like Grandmasters above that, where it's just absolutely everything. I do have a few different holo variants, so I will have non-holos and I'll have Cosmo holos in here, but I won't have any stamp cards or anything. And all of my promos go into a Black Star promo binder. So I have a Sword Shield promo binder that I keep all of those in. So let's open this up and start having a look at Astral Radiance. So as you can see, we've got the first edition 2022 on there to show you when it came out, and you can see how I line mine up. We go one card, normal card, and then the reverse holo goes right next to it. I know some people who like to just put them in the same pocket or do something different with them, but yeah, I go one next to each other. And then normally I put any cards that I think are a little more valuable, or like the full arts, half arts, things like that, into a sleeve. So there you go, and I've gone red for Astral Radiance. It's normally quite annoying when they start off with a V, because the Vs didn't have first evolution, so you don't have to have Weedle and Kakuna to have this Beedrill V. So it starts there, and that just alters the whole thing. But luckily in here, Voltorb has a Cosmo Holo. There's a Hisuian Voltorb there that has a Cosmo Holo on it. So that has meant that we have 3 like that. So it doesn't really affect it too much. And that's the way I'll do it. The Holos Langer in there. I'll pick this up and show you. For those who don't know what the Cosmo Holo is, looks something like that. You can see how this Voltorb, there you go, that Voltorb's got the holo one. And it's the Hisuian Voltorb, because this set really was the Legends Arceus game. All of those were in here. So we'll have lots of Hisuian versions. So we then have the Electrode, the 2 different ciphers, Yanma, Yanmega, Heracross, Kricketot, Kricketune, Combi, and Vespiquen, Leafeon, Shaman, Petalil, Hisuian Lilligant, and then Hisuian Lilligant V and V Star. Then got Rowlet and Dartrix up there as well. And Fire, we've got Ponyta, Rapidash, Cyndaquil, Quilava, Heatran V Max, and then also a Radiant Heatran. So your Radiant had a different kind of holo pattern on, had this kind of cross hatching, which is really cool. And the Radiants you could only have one of in your deck. So normally you can have 4 of a card, you can only have one of a Radiant. Then it goes a bit wonky for a couple of cards. Psyduck, Golduck, but then you've got Starmie there to bring it back round. And then Swinub, Piloswine, and Mamoswine. Got Mantine, Barboach, Whiscash, Regice, Glaceon, the Origin Form Palkia V, and the Origin Form Palkia V-Star. Now, with this V-Star, there is a different holo variant that I haven't put in here. And that is because that came in the League Battle decks, and it's like the tiniest of slightly different holo pattern. So rather than having that crossways pattern, it's just kind of all holo. So I haven't put that in because you can't really tell. It's not that different, but it is different. So I haven't put that in. But for some of you, you might want to put that in as a different version of the Palkia V-Star. We then got Oshawott, Dewott, Hisuian Basculin, Hisuian Basculegion, Keldeo here. We've got a non-holo that came out of your Build and Battle boxes, your pre-releases, and then you've got a Cosmo holo here. The Lion holo came out of the packs, and the reverse holo came out of the packs as well. Another Radiant in Radiant Greninja, Bergmite, Hisuian Avalugg, Galarian Mr. Rhyme, Luxray, Regieleki, Hisuian Typhlosion. He also has a Hisuian Typhlosion V, Hisuian Typhlosion V Star, Togepi, Togetic, Togekiss, Misdreavus, Mismagius, one lonely little Routes, Curlier, Gallade, Drifloon, Driftblim, Uxie, Mesprit, Azelf, Diancie, and then Wurdeer here has 3, because Wurdeer had a non-holo in the Build and Battle boxes. And then you've got Growlithe here, who takes it out of sync again by having a Cosmo holo. Hisuian Growlithe. Hisuian Arcanine. Again, reverse holo. And then you've got Machamp V and Machamp VMAX. Sudowoodo, Regirock, Cranidos, Ramparados, Lucario V, Hippopotas, Hippodon, Radiant Hawlucha, no, Hisuian Decidueye, Hisuian Decidueye V and V Star. So the Hisuian mods had different forms, that's why you had Rowlet and Dartrix earlier. And then you've got the Decidueyes are fighting types. Kleavor, another Kleavor, and then the Kleavor V. The V Star was taken out and put into a Kleavor V Star premium box. So that's why he's not in here. I know some people like to put the promos in where they should be in the sets. So some people would have the Kleavor V Star there. But yeah, that was taken out, put into a box. That's why he's not in here. He is in my Sword Shield Black Star promo binder. We then got Hisuian Quillfish, Hisuian Quillfish, Hisuian Overquill, Hisuian Overquill again. 3 Hisuian Sneasels, because you've got a Cosmo holo. I believe that was from one of the lunchbox tins, same as the Growlithe. Then got Hisuian Sneasler up the top, and then Hisuian Sneasler V. Poochyena, Mightyena, and then 4 different Absols. You've got the non-holo from the pre-release, the holo from the packs, the Cosmo holo, which I am pretty sure was in the was it in the Keldeo box? That was in a V box, and then we've got the reverse holo there as well. Darkrai V, Darkrai V Star, Hisuian Samurott. Again, you've got 3 because that one was in the Build and Battle boxes. Then got Hisuian Samurott V and Hisuian Samurott V Star. Nickit, Feeble, Magnemite, Magneton, Magnezone. Again, 3 Magnezone up there from a Build and Battle box. Registeel, Shieldon, Bastiodon, Bronzor, Bronzong, Origin Form Dialga V and Origin Form Dialga V Star. Pawniard, Bishop, Garchomp V, Regidrago, Eevee, Hoot, Knockdown, Teddy Ursa, Ursaring, and an Ursaluna, Stantler, Miltank, Glameow, Progly, Chatot, Regigigas, Rufflet, Braviary, and then we end with Oranguru V and Wurdeer V. So anyone who's watched these master set videos of mine before know I like to then leave a little gap at the end of the Pokemon. That is in case they add stuff in later. So some of the Pokemon that you've seen here have been added in later. As I say, I did actually feel the need to add in that Palkia V-Star that I don't have, I would have to move all these cards up one. So I leave a gap in case I have to do that to so I don't have to move all the secret rares and all the trainers as well. It also then means that the trainers should hopefully all line up nicely. Because if I put them there, we'd have 1, 1, 1, 1. We'd have them all not lined up. They should all line up nicely. However, good old Adam in here has a non-holo from building battle boxes, so he doesn't line up right. However, later on there'll be other ones that you'll see. But we've got Adam in there, Cancelling Cologne, Troy, Kylan, Dark Patch, Energy Lotto, Featherball, Gabriel Bog, Gardenia's Vigor, Grant, Gusty Pickaxe. Then we've got a Hisuian Heavy Ball. There's the reverse holo with the Heavy Ball. And then we've got Irida as well, who had 3 versions. Again, the non-holo in those in the building battle decks and in many decks. The non-holo Irida was everywhere. Jubilife Village, Kamado, Roxanne. Kamados and Roxanne's, there's some stamped ones from various events, world champs and things like that. So there's some extra bonus stamped ones. I think they're professor ones. But yeah, there is some stamped ones, but I don't have them in here. Spicy Seasoned Curry, Protective Glasses, Sweet Honey, Switch Cart, Temple of Sinnoh, Trekking Shoes, Unidentified Fossil, Wait and See Turbo, and Zizu at the end. And at the end of the trainers, again, we leave another nice gap there so that if we have to move trainers up, I don't have to touch all of my secret rares, because they're the more valuable ones. I don't really want to be taking them in and out of binders. They're all sleeved, but yeah, I don't particularly want to be taking them in and out of binders all the time. They want to be there and set and nice. And also, it gives us a nice start to the pages. So, the first ones we've got Beedrill V up here, and we've got the old type Beedrill V next to it. So, for those of you who are new and have only been into Pokemon recently, where we've got you'll have the normal EXs, you'll have then the SIRs later. You have the illustration rares, then you have the SIRs. What we have got now, what we had here, is we had a normal V, and then you get an old art version of it straight after. So that's why you've got Beedrill V there, and the alternate art Beedrill V there, coming next to each other, as opposed to what we have now, where you'd have the full art near the front, and then you'd have the SIR later on down the line. Put them next to each other. I think this is a better way of doing it, but obviously for a number of reasons, it's not how I do it in the new ones. But I think this is a better way of doing it because you see them next to each other. Yeah, we've then got Hisuian Lilligant and Hisuian Lilligant V over here. I know a lot of you like the cards that have got lots of Pokemon in. So there's one. Loads of different Pokemon in there, under the water, up the tree, everywhere. Beautiful card. Then got Virizion V, Heatran V, Starmie V, Origin Form Palkia V. So you'll notice with this one that it doesn't have a full art. That's because the full art got taken out to be in a box. Palkia and Dialga full arts got taken out for boxes, but this is a really cool promo. Reminds me of the Crazy Stairs painting. Yeah, really cool promo. It's not a promo. Really cool art. You've then got Luxray V, Hisuian Typhlosion V, Jirachi V, and Machamp V. Over here, you should then have Machamp V has the alternate art. Again, another one with loads of Pokemon in. And fits the Pokemon doing human jobs role as well, which I know is a collection that some of you have. There you go. And that was my favourite, the Machamp V, favourite one from this set. Then got the Decidueye V, Sneasel V. Again, Sneasel has an alt art. Samurott V, and then the alternate Dialga V, Garchomp V, Orangur V, and a Werdere V. You've then got the trainers. So you've got quite a few trainers: Adaman, Choi, Kylan, Gardenia's Vigor, Grant, Irida, Kamado, Roxanne, and Zizu. So again, just the full art. You didn't have, they didn't have alternate versions of trainers like we have the SIR trainers now. And we had the rainbows. There are alternates for quite a lot of these. They were put into the Crown Zenith special set, which we've already done a master set of. So go check that out if you want to see those. But what we had instead of those were rainbows. So we have then got Hisuian Lilligant V-Star, Heatran V-Max, Origin Form Palkia V-Star, Hisuian Typhlosion V-Star, Machamp V-Max, Hisuian Decidueye V-Star, Cleavor V-Star, Samurott V-Star, and Dialga V-Star. So this is when V-Max's V-Stars, there was all that confusion. They were still using both. V-Stars had the V-Star powers on them. So when you got that little card that said V-Star in your packs, they didn't really know what it was. It was to identify whether you'd used or not used your V-Star power, because that you could only use one per game. Is it still two prize packs, wasn't it? Yeah, still two prize cards for a V-Star. But yeah, it was a to show that you'd used that V-Star ability. We then had Rainbow Trainers. So you had Adaman, Choi, Kylan, Gardenia's Vigor, Grant, Irida, Kamado, Roxanne, and Zizi. Now, I personally prefer the full art trainers over the rainbow trainers, because it's exactly the same picture, exactly the same art, just in a rainbow colour rather than in the pattern, so you actually get the artwork in the background on the full arts than you do on the rainbows. So I was one who was not that bothered when they got rid of rainbows. I didn't really care. I was quite happy. Especially now knowing that they replaced them with SIRs and illustration rares and things. Much preferred that to the rainbow arts. I know some people miss them, but yeah, not overly bothered. We then got the golds, and there's some quite nice gold ones in this set. You've also got Palkia and Dialga, and you've got Samurott there in the middle for the free Pokemon. Choice Belt, Jubilife Village, Path to the Peak, and Temple of Sinnoh. These three stadiums are really, really pretty. And they've got Pokemon in them, so there's a little Snom up in here. So yeah, very nice golden trainers. You've got your trekking shoes and your double turbo energy. So that there is the end of the main set. As we said earlier, this is one that had the trainer gallery in. So if we go over to the next page, you can see the start of that trainer gallery. Again, left a gap at the end of there, so that this all fits really nicely. And the trainer galleries, beautiful. And this is where we got those illustration rares that we now have. They started in these trainer galleries. So you've got Abomasnow, Flapple, Kindra, Frostmoth, Gardevoir, Werdere, Phalanx, Cleavor, Mightyena, Obstagoon, Bronzong, and Hoot Hoot over on that page. You then got V's. So this Starmie V, which of course has got Misty in it, so is a very sought after card now. You Misty with the Starmie. You then got Calyrex V and Calyrex VMAX, the ice ones. Got the Galarian Articuno V. We've got the Shadow Rider V and VMAX, which are beautiful, the colours, the purples, really cool. And then the Galarian Zapdos V and the Galarian Moltres V. Zacian V, Zamazenta V, and Garchomp V. We then have some trainers. We've got Alistair, B, Melanie, Milo and Piers. And then finally we've got these two black and gold cards, the Calyrexes, the Ice Rider and the Shadow Rider. And that brings us to the end of the set. So I will go back a page. So we've got this lovely illustration rare style page to leave you on with the trainer gallery. But thank you all for watching, guys. I will aim to do Lost Origin next was set 11. So Lost Origin will be coming up next week. But yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. It does really help us out. We massively appreciate it. But yeah, thank you all for watching, guys, and I hope you have a great day.